line down and we don't know where to call. Do you have a number?
We'll announce it on the air, okay?
Okay, thank you.
I understand that there's quite a bit of heavy damage at Homestead Air Force Base, extensive damage. If you need repair, emergency repair for the building of 5 relief those in Broward and Palm Beach County.
Right now, emergency units are on the scene. That's the 3200 block of Northeast 9th Street.
Thank you for calling. Well, you got insurance. What more, there's a 650,000 gallon oil tank that has ruptured at Turkey Point Power Plant.
Most of the damage seems to be centered in the Kendall area.
Very, very fortunate.
The highest wind peak recorded by the National Hurricane Center. It was 164 miles an hour. They have a big dome where they have their radar, and that's gone.
Current wind velocity of the location now and do all this.
We heard a loud noise coming from above. And, when that happened, everybody heard it. It was very loud. And some people even felt the building shake. I didn't feel it shake, but some people did. And people got really, scared. So after we heard that loud noise, a couple seconds later, I walked into the radar room to see, what was going on the radar. Well, I noticed that the scope was dark. So at that point, I think me and others realized, okay, what happened was that was the radar dome on top of the building, on the roof of the building, that had collapsed and fallen on the roof of the building. And that was it. We lost the radar and we lost it for good.
Scientifically, I knew that there was going to be a huge amount of problems. What actually occurred still was mind-blowing to me about the vast destruction of the wind-caused damage and the complete upheaval of society in just a few hours. But fortunately, when dawn came and I called that morning, everyone was safe. The house was partially destroyed, but fortunately no one was hurt. They have an east-facing porch, and with the eye hitting south of them, the winds came out of the east, lifted the roof off, and carried it away. They didn't even know the third of the roof was gone in the middle of the night. But when dawn came and Hurricane Andrew had pushed off, they noticed that a lot of the roof was missing. So they were fortunate that they were not hurt or killed.
That's when I, went back in the bedroom, woke folks up and said, hey, look, we probably need to start doing something. So that's when we decided that we would move from the bed to the master closet. So dog family went into the closet. We didn't really take much with us. We took a couple of pillows, a flashlight or two, and our transistor radio, and listened from there on. And again, we started learning more. We started hearing like Country Walk and 152nd South Dade. We started hearing, again, it started to hit home even more. And of course, at that time, we started hearing more and more windows crash. So that's kind of when it started to become, we moved from that doubt to shock, if you will, and sadness. Knowing that, the house that you had built and you had worked so hard for is now, sounds of the howling wind, the rain beating against any glass that was not broken, and all that was just in some way just kept escalating. We were in the closet we had probably been there for several hours, again hearing what we only heard was, you know, the glass and the roar of the winds. And then water started to come up into the carpet in the closet. We had piled up all the shoes in one corner, and so we were basically on a carpeted floor. And water started to come up through underneath the baseboard. That's kind of when it really, some of the reality really starts to hit you, that the windows were so badly destroyed, and that the wind in this storm was so intense that it was starting to blow water and sand underneath your baseboards. There was talk about the eye of the storm. I don't know that we ever experienced that. We didn't get any lull or anything like that, and quite frankly, we were praying that we would experience that because we needed a rest. That never came. So by daylight, and I would say it was pretty close to 7 in the morning, was when we finally ventured out of that shower and small bathroom, if you will. But there were leaves and debris that had blown into our bedroom. Our bedroom went pretty much unscathed. But when we opened the door to the house, it was such an indescribable sense of shock and hurt, and just to see the devastation was unbelievable. Every window that was on most corners of the house were absolutely gone, and all the drywall in the house got impacted and was wet. So in some areas, the paint had been blown off by the wind. The drywall in the ceiling had fallen because of the weight and the water. And so all of this insulation, so it looked like it had snowed more or less in the house. We had all blown insulation in our attic. And so we were just trying to make sense of what was left. Is there anything left? And we walked around the house in absolute disbelief, made sure that we were wearing sturdy shoes. We were essentially bare feet throughout most of the evening, but then we put on a pair of tennis shoes, if you will. And like I said, walked around. Man, the front door got blown in, so it was easy to walk outside. So we got outside. Our home basically had the garage on one end, and in the center it was an open concept home. So what happened was the wind went from the bay window out the sliding glass doors of the dining room. So basically everything that was in our living room and our dining room ended up out on our patio in a big heap of glass and shingles and all of our belongings. You couldn't help but, I was crying. I had no grasp of what had happened, and all I knew was that it was, just absolutely catastrophic. I don't like to use the word war zone or anything like that because I've never been in a war zone, but it was something that, as I said, it was just undescribable.